Yo, what I'm going to try to do is take you through a reverse. This is what we do at the end of class. All right. But I want to show you how you can sort of get this started, but then also go back through the rest of the slide to kind of help yourself out a little bit. All right. So a little hustle in reverse or forward will help you. So let me show you what you would do first. First, if you didn't already, you would read the directions. So I look at this slide, it says prompt. We will now switch this Pear Deck to student mode. Use your notes from the previous slides or your returned Pear Deck and put them together. So prompt, indirect characterization is when an author uses actions, dialogue, figurative language, and or description to provide clues about a character's personality. How does the author use indirect characterization for Asia in The Proudest Blue? All right, the story that we've been read more than a few times now, okay? So step one, read the prompt. Step two is to turn it into a thesis statement, right? Now, this is only asking you to write a body paragraph, so you can kind of start with just one specific reason instead of three, okay? And that's why there's a little arrow over from the red to the body paragraph setup over there. So let me show you. You would start by getting the red from the prompt. You always want to start by addressing the prompt. The author uses indirect characterization for Asia in The Proudest Blue using, and I'm going to focus on this slide here to the right. We've already talked about it in class. I'm going to say using dialogue. Right? You can use actions, figurative language, and other stuff, but this paragraph is only going to focus on one thing, dialogue. Okay? So the next sentence would be in this story, right? That's something called context. That's step 4. So in this story. Well, I don't remember this story, right? I don't remember, let's say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to backtrack just a tick. All right. And while I backtrack, I'm going to go to the slide that helps me with coming up with context. And it's this slide right here. So let's say I use, this is the dialogue from what we were just looking at. Let's say I use one of these slides here. All right. And I want to say the author discusses or in this story. So in this story, let's see. So 1C is what we're leading up to. So Asiya and Fiza. I'm looking at 1A there. Go to the hijab store with their mother. Asiya gets a new blue hijab for her first day of school. The next day, the sisters go to school. But once there, Asiya is laughed at by some 6th grade boys. There's my background. There we go. So what I would do is I could come back here because I already did this with Mr. Surface earlier in class. It's probable that he floated me an example that I could go get and go Guardian, right? But I got this here because I did it in class. So I'm going to go boop, Control C. All right, and then I'm going to go back to slide 22. There we are. So here's the end of the story, just where I left it. Chappelle, boom. I've got my context. Now I've got to get my quote. So I'm looking over here. You can see the mouse in the hand looking over there. All right. And I see some figurative language, but I'm talking about dialogue. So I look at the quotation mark here. I see a quotation mark there. Boom, I got my dialogue. Let's write it. Some people won't understand your hijab. Now, since this is dialogue and also a quote, I have to put quotation marks and an apostrophe here to show that someone's talking and I'm not just quoting someone. Some people won't understand your hijab, comma, apostrophe. Mama had said, right? Said, talking, dialogue. Oh, then another apostrophe. But if you understand who you are, comma, one day they will too. Parentheses, or I'm sorry, not parentheses, apostrophe, then a quotation mark. Boom, you've got it. So now we've got our topic sentence, we've got our context, we've got our quotation. Now we need to do something with that quotation, right? Well, the first thing you do after you get a quotation going, and I want to show you the GIF for this, is this. Is it showing you? I hope it is. Come on. All right. So earlier in the slide, you get this, and it says number one, check prompt. Number two, you pick out a noun. Number three, you pick out a verb, and you keep like explaining it. You keep analyzing the quotation, right? That's what it means to analyze, is to dig deeper, okay? So this noun verb